You know, there's one thing that all my buddies call me and ask me is, listen, we're gonna watch the game and we want something great. What kind of recipe you got for me? And I said, well, what do you want? They said, well, you know, I want it to be beef and I want it to be big and I want there to be a lot of flavor and I want it to be a sandwich. And I go, don't go any further. I'll tell you what you need right now. You need my brisket with my Miller Lite Mop sauce. Now, this is how we do this. If you want big flavor, and it's going to take that, first a little dry rub. Now, you have your favorite dry rub. I mean, you can buy it packaged. You can run my style, garlic powder, chili powder, salt, pepper, the whole giddy up. But the key is the brisket. Okay, now the brisket, well, you don't see it a lot of times, people cooking it at home, because if you don't know how to work with it, it's just big, it's tough, it's got a lot of flavor, but you got to cook it right, and this is how we're going to do it. You ready? Okay. So a little dry rub of your favorite seasoning mix. This is a little bit on the spicier side, just with a touch of cayenne. Okay, so we'll get the dry rub there. Give it a little flip. Look at that beautiful piece of meat. I got a nice hot cast iron skillet here. If you don't have a hot cast iron skillet, a Dutch oven would work great. So we get down with a little bit of oil. There we go. We'll go fat side first and sear this bad boy off. Take a look at that, huh? So dry rub this, seared it off on the fat side, hit the other side, pull it out. Now, what do I have in there? A ton of flavor. Add a little mirepoix in it. So we got the onions, the celery, and the carrots, and just a touch of garlic. Now, this is the key. You got to have the Miller Lite. If you're going to make Miller Lite mop sauce, if you're going to put this whole thing around Miller Lite, well, then you add it in now, and we're going to build layers of flavor. So deglaze. Got to get every last little bit. All right, one more. You should smell all the flavor coming off this already. And last but not least, a little beef stock. So think about all the flavor that we've got going on here. We've got the mirepoix. We've got all the flavor coming from the brisket, the fat of the brisket, the dry rub. That's all going to happen now. We'll go right back in. Nice and hot. Hit a little bit of foil. Okay, we'll do that. Quick little wrap. Wow, that's hot. Into the oven, 325, 2.5 to 3 hours. Almost to the point where it's falling apart, but not quite falling apart, because we're going to bring it out, wrap it up, cool it down, and then get in the next step. All right. So brisket in, 2.5, 3 hours. Smoking hot. Remember, if you don't have that kind of oven, don't worry about it. You could go in the oven underneath. You could go on top of your grill. Cover it. It might take a little bit longer if you don't have it. But you know what? What we're looking for is, ready? Wait for it. Exactly. This. All right. It's super Miller Lite tender. We drop it down. Extra hot. Now, over the top. Nice. Wrap with the foil, and here's the key to why we're wrapping it with the foil. Two things. One, it's going to sweat here a little bit and even break down more. Two, once it does cool down and comes back together, I'll be able to take that later and put it on the grill and hit it with that Miller Lite mop sauce. So we'll let this cool out here for a second. While it's cooling, let's talk about the mop sauce. So, of course, what do you start off with? You got it. A little Miller Lite. There we go. Miller Lite. A little vegetable oil. Some apple cider vinegar. This is really where it's coming in right here. Some Worcestershire. And spice it up just a bit with a little red chili flake. So if I got it spicy, I need a little bit sweet and a touch of some brown sugar. There we go. Now, what's so great about this is it just builds flavor as we're just going to lay it and baste it over the top of this meat on the grill, but we'll do that in a little bit. First, let's give it a taste. Oh, it's dynamite. Okay, so here's the game plan. Let this cool down a little bit in the fridge, come back, 24 hours later, throw it on the grill, hit it with the mop sauce, the bomb. Cool thing about this is if you're tailgating, it's football time, you're out there, you can have this all done a day ahead of time and just bring this with you to the game. And that's a ton of flavor. Okay, over to the grill. All right. Now, I know this looks hard and it's dry. No, it's brisket. There's tons of fat. There's tons of flavor. And this has got it going. What'll happen is it's going to take maybe about 20 minutes, flipping it 5 minutes each side. But the key is to add all the big flavor is the mop sauce. And this isn't a sauce. This is a mop sauce. So it's not going to be all heavy and you have to worry about it burning on here. This is just going to keep it it'll just keep it nice and juicy. Okay. So while the mop sauce is working, bring over some rolls, hit them with a little bit of garlic butter, Just a touch. There we go. All right, the final of the basting with the Miller Lite Mop sauce. Now let's grab this bad boy off, huh? Grab over a piece of the garlic bread. Hold on to my mop sauce. I gotta do one thing first. I gotta make sure that I'm properly hydrated for this one. All right, that's how we get this done. Now, got some different pieces, but I just want to cut right into here. I want a little bit of that fat. Remember, fat is flavor. Wait for it. Look at this. Look at that. Look how juicy, tender. Lay that right up on top. And remember, this mop sauce is critical. Touch a little bit of that down. A little of that apple cider vinegar coming through. Now, you know what my motto is, right? When it's grilling time, it's Miller time. This, baby, is how you do it. Ready? Your team could lose and you would have a great day if you made a sandwich like that. See you next time.